Hi everyone, this is the news from Western Armenia, especially for you. Western Armenia Weekly releases issue number 126. Artsakh, from ancient Armenian homeland to forced depopulation. May 18, 1992, Berdzor was liberated. Artsakh parliament slams Pashinyan's division statement. Generations Know Yourself, a call for national awakening. Around 30 museums in Artsakh on the threat, Hovik Avanesov. The 1938 Dersim tragedy still lives in generational memory. William Saroyan, Winter of Humanity and Memory. The 126th issue of Western Armenia Weekly has been published, featuring the famous Van Turret from Lake Van on its cover, a symbol of Armenian nature and cultural heritage. This issue includes cultural, historical, and national topics, summarized of the National Assembly sessions of the Republic of Western Armenia and the New Year message from National Council Vice President Ledia Markosyan. Readers can also discover the story of the famous Van cat whining, an international cat competition, testimonies from occupied Artsakh shared by a Korean traveler, and many other analytical and cultural articles. For centuries, Artsakh was one of the main centers of Armenian culture, faith, and identity. Armenians lived on this historic land for thousands of years, creating a rich cultural and spiritual heritage. In 2023, following Azerbaijan's ethnic cleansing campaign, Artsakh was completely emptied of its Armenian population for the first time in history. Despite the forced displacement, Artsakh remains an integral part of Armenian historical memory, identity, and the struggle for justice. Notably, an Armenian language book titled Artsakh was already published in Baku in 1895, proving the region's deep Armenian historical presence. May 18, 1992 became one of the most important days in modern Armenian history. On that day, Armenian forces liberated Berdzor, opening the road connection Armenian and Artsakh. During the hardest period of the First Artsakh War, Berdzor was the only vital route for transporting people, food, medicine, and supplies. After heavy fighting, Armenian forces took control of the city. For many Armenians, the liberation of Berdzor became not only a military victory, but also a symbol of national unity and survival. The factions of the Artsakh National Assembly condemned Nikol Pashinyan's statement about Artsakh Armenians, calling them unacceptable and harmful to national unity. The statement stressed that political manipulation and the expense of displacement Artsakh Armenians is unacceptable, and that the right of return of the people of Artsakh cannot become a subject of bargaining. Artsakh famous message Generations Know Yourself continues to serve as a call for self-awareness and vigilance for Armenians today. In her article, Armenia Kotanjan reflects on Armenian history, past mistakes, and long-standing illusions. She argues that history has repeatedly shown that the world is often guided by power and national interest rather than morality. The article highlights the importance of understanding national interest, recognizing one's own strength, and preserving historical memory. Hovik Avanesov, ombudsman for Artsakh cultural heritage, warned that nearly 30 museums and collections in occupied Artsakh are under threat of destruction, falsification, and appropriation. According to him, Azerbaijan's policies aim to erase Armenian cultural identity and distort historical memory in the region. He called on the international community to take practical steps to protect enduring cultural heritage. The memory of the 1938 Dersim massacres remains a deep wound for generations connected to Dersim. Writer Zeynel Ogzun shares painful testimonies passed down through families for decades. The story especially focuses on the author's mother, who witnessed the tragedy as a child, including the mass killings of women and children carried out by soldiers. The article presents these memories not only as personal pain, but also as part of a lasting collective historical trauma. William Saroyan, 1908-1981, was an Armenian-American writer whose works focused on human suffering, exile, immigration, and dignity. Born in Fresno to an Armenian family from Bitlis, he became known for his emotional and simple library style. His 1934 collection, The Daring Young Man on the Flying Trapeze and Other Stories, brought him international fame, and in 1893 he received the Pulitzer Prize for The Time of Your Life, although he refused to accept it. Saroyan wrote more than 60 works centered on hope, pain, love, and humanity. His writings strongly reflected the struggle of Armenian immigrants and the importance of preserving identity. So this was all for today's news. If you want something to learn, you can easily find Western Armenia's TV state television website and read everything there. Thank you for watching.